All right, welcome to Peaceful Warrior Yoga, and today we're going to explore a little bit of trying to decongest the face, the nose, the ears, the sinuses, all those parts that like to gunk up when we get a cold or when we wake up early in the morning and we're just full of it. And it's a tricky area of the body to work with. So it's a bit of an exploration. Especially when our nose gets blocked. So one of the most powerful ways to clear the nasal passages, and you might need tissues for this, but it's something I do every morning. It's a nice way to clear the barrels of the nose. And to begin with, we'll do what's called an activation breath. So the activation breath is to simply, as best as you can, inhale through the nose, but if your nose is too blocked, you can inhale through the mouth. So you inhale, inhale, inhale and hold the breath. And then exhale through the mouth. Lean forward, pull the belly back and hold the breath out. And then slowly come up. And we'll do that once again. So inhaling, inhale, inhale, inhale a little bit more and hold the breath. And then exhale through the mouth, round forward, pull the navel back in, hold the belly back and in. And then slowly sit up in your own time. And then the next breath really is designed to clear the nose. And you simply take one thumb and you block the right nostril and you push out very strongly through the left nostril. It's like doing Kapalabhati through one nostril. So you go like you have something that's flown up into the nostril and you flick it out. Now, of course, if that brings out mucus, you take your handkerchief and do it. And then switch nostrils. And usually when you do that, you see one nostril might be a little more clogged than the other nostril. So you go, oh, gee, that nostril's really full of it. And then what we're going to do is alternate from side to side. So you'll be, and I'll have to find my tissue. I'll be right back. Keep going. So a couple more breaths. And then release, inhale, 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 inhale and hold the breath. And then exhale through the mouth, rounding, dropping the head, pull the navel back in and hold the breath out. And then slowly sit up. And take a moment to notice the impact on the sinuses, the face, the head. So that's called the alternate nostril Kapalabhati. Very powerful way to help cleanse the nose. We'll do one more round of that. So bringing the hand up, inhale, and begin. One nostril at a time. And then wipe away any mucus, and then inhale, 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 and hold the breath. And then exhale through the mouth, rounding the spine, dropping the head a little bit. Pull the navel in, hold the breath out. And then slowly come up. So you might experience a lot of warming in the face, and at any time during today's practice you feel the nostrils become blocked with mucus, come back to alternate nostril for a few rounds just to clear it out. And in the book I'm writing about breathing at the moment, there's an expression in the world of breathing to let yourself be breathed. Let yourself be breathed. Instead of breathing, you taking the action, just allow your breath to happen to you. Inhale, bring the hands behind the back, clasp the fingers, and straighten the arms. Feeling the chest open. Lift the chin a little bit, not too much, and let yourself be breathed. Imagine you're standing on a beach and the sea breeze is blowing right into your face, filling your nostrils. Just allow yourself to be breathed. Sea breeze pushing the air in, lift the arms up a little more, feel a little more stretch sensation through the chest, a little more squeeze in the shoulder blades, and firm up the belly just a tad so you don't overarch the back. And then release, let the hands rest on the lap, palms up. Leaning to the left, drop the left hand to the floor and let the left ear come down and drop the left shoulder. Just like you're trying to let out any blockage in the ears here, letting it drain out. And then take the right hand, the fingertips of the right hand, and start to tap the side of the temple. Just tapping. Tap, 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 tap. Keeping the elbow up if you can. And then tap above the ear onto the side of the skull. Like you're tapping out all the gunk in that left ear. Come down over the cheekbone. Under the ear. Tap, 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 tap. Maybe under the jaw a bit. Noticing where any areas are sensitive from sinus sensitivity. Tap, tap, tap. And then slowly come up. Rest the hands on the lap and notice the impact of the tapping. Dropping the opposite hand, leaning to the opposite side, draining out that opposite ear. Lifting the left hand up and tapping, starting with the sinus, the temple area. And then starting to wander around the ear, above, below, cheek, jaw, behind the ear. Just finding all sorts of areas that need a little bit of release. And slowly make your way back up. And then bringing the left hand, right hand across in front of the body, left hand behind, coming to a twist. Adjust the level of the head so you find the maximum breathing. And as you breathe out, just simply hum. Keep humming on the exhale and turn the head to the right. Keep the twist, keep humming, and tap the back of the skull with that left hand. Come on top of the skull. And then release. And then coming to the other side. Start with the twist. Find a head position where the nose is most open. And then bring the hand up and start to tap the skull as you turn the head to the left. Tap, tap, tap. Just activating all that area that's congested. See if you can tap down where the occipital ridge meets the neck. And release and come back to neutral. And we'll do one more round of Kapalabhati, alternate nostril Kapalabhati, just to see where the mucus is at, and just to move the mucus. Bring the hand up to the face, and inhale, and begin. Inhale, 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 and release. And slowly come up. And make your way to all fours. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Inhale, extend the left leg back and drop the ball of the foot and press out through the heel bone. Move the foot a little closer to the edge of the mat so you have a little more distance widthways between right and left legs. Lean into the right hand and bring your hand onto the left hip. So you feel your right ear kind of draining down towards the ground. Inhale, lift that left hand. And then come into a half bind. Let yourself be breathed here. And for those who want to start to take the weight more into that right leg, you might be able to lift that left leg up. Left hand up. Exhale, release, come back to all fours. And in all fours, lift the gaze, tighten the arms, arch the back, and then round. Move through cat and cow 3 or 4 times. And then become stable as you extend right leg back. Push through the heel bone, stretching the back of that leg. Now adjusting your left hand and your left leg, start to bring that right hand onto the hip, keeping the right foot grounded. Bringing that shoulder back, draining the left ear towards the ground. Lift the right hand. And bring it behind your back. Keep draining the ear. And then once again, start to play with your left hand and your left knee. Find a balance point where you can lift that right leg, if you wish. Lifting the right hand if you like. Exhale, bring that right leg down, right hand down. Now explore here with child pose. Notice how it is. If it's too intense on the head, keep your head up by bending the elbows and resting your forehead on your fists. If it's okay to bring your head down lower, explore. Usually when the head comes down too low, if you've got a blocked head or cold or something, it might be too uncomfortable. So come into this variation of child pose with head elevated, if that feels better. Keep the head up and take the fingertips of the hand and tap the forehead. Tap the sinuses across above the eyebrows. Tap, tap, tap. Both hands. Tap, tap, tap. Humming as you exhale. And then slowly walk the hands back, come onto your shins. If you'd like to sit on a block here, you can. Or 2 blocks. Just make sure it's not too intense for the shins, ankles, and thighs as you come into Vajrasana. And once again, doing that activation, take the right hand, tapping the forehead, tap, tap, tap. And then come down onto the nasal cavity itself, onto the nasal cartilage, the nose, and just tap all around the nasal cartilage. And under the eyes, along the cheekbones. This area might be sensitive. Just tap gently. And then release and notice the calm after the storm. Come onto all fours. A little cat and cow here. And then curling the toes, lift the knees. Now be careful with downward dog here. Usually we drop the head down closer to the floor, but if that's too much for the sinuses, look up a little bit and walk your dog out. Lift the right foot to the sky, three-legged dog, and step the right foot forward to that right wrist and drop the left knee. Inhale, lift the head up and press into that front thigh. Once again, giving the sinuses time to drain down. Hinge, lean forward so you feel that big stretch on that left hip flexor, and then backwards. So just moving backwards and forwards, opening up the back hip here. And then take the right hand and create a circle between the thumb tip and the fingertip, and the three fingers are up in the air. So we're going to call this a shining star. Inhale, reach that shining star above the head, and with the other hand, same shape, same mudra, and bring it behind you. Keeping the mudra, bring both hands above, two shining stars above the head. Exhale, bring the hands down to the earth. Step that right knee back into down tabletop. Come through cat and cow here. So just using the change of position slowly, letting the head acclimate. And then once again, curling the toes, downward dog to whatever degree your head feels right. Maybe it's between the arms, maybe it's lifted up. Walking the legs out. This time lifting the left leg. Stepping forward to that left wrist, dropping the right knee. And then bring the hands onto the thigh. And swaying forwards and backwards, waking up that back hip. Keep the shoulders back and keep the head aligned above the shoulders. And then create your little stars with the mudra, the three rays coming out of the three fingers, and then the circular sun. Left hand up, right hand back. Both stars above the head. Exhale, hands to the earth, and step forward to the top of the mat. Keep the head above the heart here. As you push back on the thighs, lengthening the spine. So not a full variation of forward fold, really just finding that half fold. Bend the knees, drop the butt, bring the hands out to the side, eyes up as you reverse your swan dive, come all the way up. Exhale, pray. Notice how you're breathing. This time clasping the back of the head with the hands and wrapping the forearms around the skull. Try to lift the skull up. Make more space in the skull. Lift it up. And then inhale, reaching up. Exhale, swan dive down once again to half fold. Keeping the nose above the heart. Exhale, gently forward all the way down. Tap the ground. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Exhale, prayer. Dropping the hands to the side. Right hand stays on the right side. Left hand reaches up into that star mudra. Index finger and thumb tipping, and then tip over into that variation of half moon. Draining that right ear. Squeeze the butt, push the butt forward. Inhale, neutral. Exhale, other side. Finding the mudra. Draining the left ear. Inhale, come up. And then take a giant step back with the left foot. Come onto the left heel. Hands on hips, just feeling that balanced pose. So if you're feeling off balance, widen the feet until you feel really stable here, hips are square. Coming to the star mudra, lifting both hands above the head. And then bring that right star forward, left star back as you come into a twist. Bring the hands to the hips here. And step the left foot back behind the right foot. So you change your stance into that warrior two stance. Float the hands out with the star mudra. Warrior two. Reverse warrior. Open up the chest here. Open up the ribs. Come back through warrior two, and this time straighten the front leg. Ha. Hinge forward just a tad so you feel that stretch in that right groin. A little further. A little further. And then windmill the hands. Right hand comes down, left hand comes up. Drain out the ear in triangle. Inhale, come up. Hands on hips. And step that left foot back to the left edge of the mat, facing the front of the mat. Lifting the back heel. Keeping the hands on the hips, step to the top of the mat. Hinge forward. Tap the mat. Bend the knees. Lift the eyes. Reverse swan dive. Exhale, prayer. Giant step back with that right foot. Hands on hips. Star Mudra. Let's bring that right hand back, left hand forward. Hands on hips. And now we're going to step that back foot. And when we step it back behind the front foot, let's ground down that back foot and make sure it's fully grounded. Pinky toe pushing into your mat. Check the front knee hasn't lost its integrity. Warrior two. Keep your star mudra. Let's open up the left rib cage here. Drop the right hand. Open up. Make space in the chest. Come back through neutral and straighten the front leg. Hinge forward here slowly. Really get into that upper left thigh, left leg, left hip. And then rotate the hands, draining the left ear down towards the ground. Inhale, come back through warrior two. Hands on the hips. Step back through warrior one. So you orient towards the top of the mat. Find that ball of the foot, that back foot, and then hinge forward. So you're going to take the weight into the front leg and then float that back leg up and down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, half fold. Tap the earth. And then reverse swan dive. Exhale, prayer, and simply notice. Widen the feet. Rotate the feet outwards. Charlie Chaplin feet. Slide the hands down the thighs to the knees, bending the knees outwards. So you come into this kind of half squat. Decide if you need to widen the feet more. Mine are coming off the mat. Come down a little bit more, and you might even use a block here to support your weight. And then slowly raise and lower the buttocks. So you're almost like you're pumping yourself down lower and lower. And as you do that, the weight goes into the block to support you, but you're finding your feet position where you can come to that lowest point. Now, if your heels are lifted here, what you can do is put a blanket or a towel or a cushion underneath the heels and push down into the blanket. And then slowly come down onto the block. We're going to sit on the block. And bringing the right foot underneath you. Let's have a strap handy here. Left foot comes over that right knee. And then walk your left foot back a bit until the knees come as close as they can to sitting on top of each other. Oh yeah. Rest the hands on the thighs for now, shoulders back. A little more tapping, face tapping and humming, sinuses just activating. Nasal cavity, temples, forehead, all around the ear, front of the ears, behind the ears, above the ears, around the jaw and the throat, back of the neck, back of the skull, and all over the top of the skull. If you find any particular area that feels like it's benefiting from this, stay with that area. And then release. Find tranquility here if you can, breathing slowly through the nose, letting yourself be breathed. Facing that sea breeze, letting the breeze come into the nose, filling you up. And then grab the strap and bring it over that left foot. Left hand comes behind the back and grabs the strap from behind. So it's kind of pulling the foot back further for you. Your left hand pulling it back, that's it. And that brings the left shoulder back into a twist, right hand crosses over. Inhale, gently lift the chin up. Exhale, gently lower the chin towards the chest. So creating a little head movement up and down here. Inhaling, lifting up, opening the throat. Exhaling, gently closing the throat. Turn the head more to the right and do the same thing. Inhale, bringing the head to neutral and release the strap. And change the cross of the leg. Left knee on the floor, right foot comes over. And find your center. Notice your breathing. Clear your nose if you need to, using a tissue, and then strap up the right foot this time, if you haven't already, and bring that right hand behind, pulling that foot back, coming into the twist. Exhaling, turning the head to the left. And begin to nod the head. Inhale the head to neutral and relax. And for the next one, see if you have a bolster handy and a block or a couple of blocks and maybe a towel or a blanket. So quite a few props here. And bring the bolster across the mat in front of you so that you can, and have your blocks handy and your towel. So I'll see if I can describe that in English. So you can see my setup here is the blocks are in front, the towel is in front, and I'm going to bring the blocks together and put the towel on top of the blocks. So it's like a big upraised cushion in front of me. The bolster's back about 30 centimeters, about 12 inches. And then you come down so that your bolster is kind of under your belly. And you're leaning, elbows are leaning in between. Now this is where you want to be able to bring your forehead down to the towel comfortably. So you might have to raise the blanket higher. So your head is above the heart. And bring your right elbow closer to the bolster and cross the hands. So the left hand is towards the right side of the mat. And the right hand is towards the left side. Forearms are flat. Widen the feet a little bit, toes point out. And notice how that feels to breathe. Start to slowly slide your arms further apart so the hands will come off the mat and you'll be stretching open the shoulder blades, compressing the chest. So you're going to have to breathe deeper down into the belly here. And notice how that feels. If it gets too much for the forehead, turn the head to the left so the side of the head rests on your cushion. Let yourself feel like you're being breathed. The sea breeze pushing into the nose. Now slowly release that stretch. Lift the head up for a moment and gently turn the head left and right. Switch the position of the elbows so the left elbow comes closer, right elbow above. And we'll do the same stretch on with this orientation. Reaching the hands out, bringing the head down to your towel. And turning the head to the right this time. And bring the head back to neutral. Slide the arms back towards each other, lifting the head up for a moment. And then turning the head left and right. And then coming up, we're going to try one more pose that I found cleared my sinuses once. Preparing for plow pose, coming off the cushion. So I'll bring the bolster back. And I want you to lay your towel or blanket out so that when you lay on the towel or blanket, your head will be on the mat, but your body will be on the towel. So you'll be slightly elevated. Your body will be slightly above the head from the thickness of the towel or blanket. If you have several towels or blankets, you can layer it and make it thicker. So you can see my head is off the towel, but my body is on the towel or blanket. And then lift the hips and bring the bolster underneath the hips. Now in the beginning this might feel a little awkward if you've got a head cold, but we'll try and bring the knees up, lift the hips up, and prop the low back up with your hands so that the knees are coming over the head towards the blocks behind you. If you can touch the floor, touch the floor. And only stay here as long as it feels right for you. At any time you need to come back, just come back into Shavasana slowly.
Notice the impact on the breathing. And whenever you're ready to come back very carefully. If having your hips elevated feels right and you want to keep your legs in the air, you can. If you want to bring the feet back to earth, then lower the hips, perhaps bringing the bolster underneath the thighs, you can. If your head feels comfortable where it is, leave it there. If it needs to be elevated, bring something underneath the head. allowing yourself to be breathed. And tuning into your energy, noticing what your needs are at this time. Either remaining in Shavasana or slowly transitioning taking the next 5 to 10 breaths to come to a seated position. And just tuning into the body's needs to rest and recover. Just appreciating the time you've taken to open up the body, activate the sinuses, move the mucus. Namaste.